everybody? It's Tom and Jerry Fan 64 here, and it's now time to do a. I'm gonna do some trailer reviews for today. There's one trailer review that has been really overdue that I was gonna do a couple days ago, but it's been long overdue, and I'm gonna talk about my thoughts on the trailer, theatrical trailer, the 28 years later, the Bone Temple, which this movie comes out on January 16th, 2026, and it's gonna be directed by Nia DaCosta, who also directed Littlewood. She also directed the 2021 movie Candyman, which I OD on DVD. And I used the Universal reprint DVD. This is the first Candyman, but I got another back to use the Contraster DVD. I OD Candyman 2, Farewell to the Flesh, and Candyman 3, Day of the Dead on DVD. And she's also going to be directing Hedda. She also directed The Marvels, which I hope to get The Marvels on DVD, even though I heard that film was not great. And I hope to get Captain Marvel on DVD. I hope to see Miss Marvel. And before I review the Marvels, I will re-review the first Captain Marvel. Little Woods was released by Neon. It also has Tessa Thompson. And I didn't. A lot of people don't like the Candyman 3 Day of the Dead, but I enjoyed it. And I did watch the 2021 movie Candyman on Peacock for free, and it's a really fun reboot. My ranking of the Candyman movies goes Candyman, the first Candyman, then Candyman 2021, then Candyman Farewell to the Flesh, and then Day of the Dead. I consider Day of the Dead a guilty pleasure, but what really irritates me about the 2021 movie Candyman, what I really wish that I wish that Tony Todd would have. Tony Todd does reprise his role as Daniel Robitaille, I haven't announced his name, of 88K Candyman, but he's only in there at the end. Sorry about the spoilers, sorry about that. It's produced by Jordan Peele, who also directed the movies Get Out, Us, and Nope, which I hope you on DVD. And so yeah. And Nia DaCosta is also directing a movie with Tessa Thompson that's going to be coming out on. It's going to be released. It's going to be called Hedda, which is going to be scheduled to be released. The film premiered at the 2025 Toronto International Film Festival on September 7, 2025. It's scheduled to be released in select theaters in the United States on October 22nd, 2025, before streaming on Amazon Prime Video on October 29th. And I'm really excited for this movie, and it's going to be produced by Tessa Thompson. And it's also going to have Tom Bateman, who I believe he starred in Murder on the Orient Express 2017, which I do back on DVD. I did that now 2022 movie, and the Haunting in Venice. So yeah, I'm really excited for this movie. I'm really excited for the movie 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. And Cillian Murphy is going to be appearing and reprising his role from 28 Days Later. And in the movie 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, according to it says Cillian Murphy has said that he's only in the film for a little bit at the end, and that his appearance sets up the planned third film. While the first 28 Years Later, and 28 Years Later was directed by Danny Boyle, who also directed 28 Days Later, and while 28 Weeks Later was directed by Juan Carlos Fresnillo, I haven't known his name. So yeah. See, in the movie 20 Years Later, Bone Temple, Ray Fiennes reprises his role. See, I'm going to give the trailer 20 Years Later to Bone Temple. This movie looks scary as hell, and I will re-review the first 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later when the new 28 Years Later to Bone Temple comes out. And I will re-review them this year as well. So yeah, I'm going to give the trailer to 28 Years Later to Bone Temple, and Ray Fiennes is going to be reprising his role from 20 Years Later as Dr. Ian Kelson. And what's interesting, while the first 28 Days Later was released by Fox Searchlight Pictures, which is now known as Searchlight Pictures, and while 28 Weeks Later was by Fox Atomic and 20th Century Fox, while the 28 Years Later in the Bone Temple in the third film, which is going to be in the third and final film, is going to be directed by Danny Boyle. And so yeah, I'm going to give the trailer to 28 Years Later to Bone Temple a 5 out of 5 stars. Plus, this movie looks really, really scary. So that is it for my trailer review to 28 Years Later to Bone Temple. And if you guys watched the trailer, if you guys have, what's your thoughts on the trailer? So that is it for my trailer review to 28 Years Later Bunted, which I'll see you guys all in my next video, which will be another trailer review. So I'll see you guys then. Adios.